Oh, hello, and welcome to today's Decay, where we celebrate births and beginnings and everything important since the dawn of time. June 4th edition, all day. And while I've been in rerun season, because there's more than enough of 4 years content to hit every single damn day, sometimes I realize I figure out things after the fact, and I missed them. So I have to talk about them this time. Just, forces my hand. Doesn't it? Yeah, I suppose so. Anyway, today, June 4th, the film The Unknown went into general release in America today in 1927. One of my favorite movies! Lon Chaney Sr., although I guess if anything his name's synonymous with like silent horror, it's not true. It's like silent tragedy. Broken-hearted clowns, circus performers who are, tragically mauled or the laughing stock of everybody around them, or, appendages lost, and so on. Like in this wonderful movie, directed by Todd Browning, opposite Joan Crawford, a young Joan Crawford. Lon Chaney Sr. plays Alfonso the Knife Thrower, who wows audiences because he's dexterous enough. I'm gonna say that's true. With the use of his feet to throw knives at Joan Crawford, live on stage in a circus sideshow performance, which is helpful because he is armless but not harmless. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for the movie for those who haven't seen it before. But the point is, broken-hearted clown all the way. Twisted, dark, warped, wild, wanton, the unknown. Do check it out. On the day it was unleashed on a very much unsuspecting American public. Yeah. Okay, what else? Gene Vincent and the Blue Cap song Bebop-A-Lula was released on this day, 1956. It may not be unknown to you that, just 1 month ago to the day, on May 4th, was the day they recorded this absolute classic, monumental recording, Bebop-A-Lula. And just 1 short month later to the day, catch and release out into the world. And I wouldn't say, I would say rock and roll was never the same. Never the same. Much in the same line of thought, the Sex Pistols played today at the Lesser Free Trade Hall in Manchester, England, today, 1976. What is going on here? Crazy. This was a very important show. There was almost nobody there, but everybody that was there went home and was like, okay, I'm gonna start a band. So you have the members of the Buzzcocks, members of the Smiths, a whole bunch. Utterly shaped the punk and rock and roll and post-punk, etc. world and in every direction. I think it's really kind of amazing to think how influential a handful of people can be in small, cramped venues, or corner bar stages, basically, or university halls where it's cavernous, but the handful of people who were there connect with it. If you think about it, all the crucial venues where major rock and roll movements started were all just with a handful of people, really. You're not talking about the Clash playing at Shea Stadium or something. It's CBGB's and Max's Kansas City and the Mud Club, here in New York City. But the same thing could be true and is true in every location where rock and roll burst into being. It's almost I think I was listening to this great podcast called Hardcore History by Dan Carlin, and one of his episodes was about how like the scale of human time and like when we evolved into being modern humans is like infinitely longer than any recorded civilization that we know of. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't civilization, that there wasn't possibly rock and roll, you know, in like 32,000 BC, forget 3200 BC, but, you know, like dozens, if not hundreds of thousands of years ago, human beings genetically were like just as we are today. And so we spent the majority of our time as a species on this planet probably surrounded by like a campfire telling each other ghost stories and like entertaining each other and capturing each other's imagination and using that as like a sense of security and a sense of maybe not culture but civilization and community. And like how does all of this, like, you know, a handful of people in a room connecting with something they know is important doesn't harken back to the before times, you know, before Samaria, before the ancient Indus Valley civilization, before Goblet Tepe, I didn't say that right, Goblet, you know what I mean, or do you? You know, I'm saying even like the massive ancient structures that like predate the written language that we know of, that's still only like moments ago, and humanity as we are as a species just keeps going and going and going, at least into the past, maybe not into the future, you know, expiration date and all, but yeah, what's my point? Sex Pistols play Lesser Free Trade Hall, and maybe that's like year zero.